Over the summer, I spoke to UCL graduates from the class of 2019, and I asked them, what does no one ever tell you about the world of work? I was super curious to see what they might share, and I first put this question to Mohammed.
So sometimes when you get to hear about work, you always get to think about like people in suits and like very straight faces walking quickly in London at 9 a.m. It doesn't work that way. It's a little bit more chilled than you might think about, but at the same time, it's definitely different. It is more disciplined, for instance. So it doesn't have the same flexibility as university, for instance, even though employers try to make your life as flexible as possible and they try to accommodate for as much as they can. But let's face it, you're no longer going to have your 9 to 11 lectures and then go straight home and then feel you've got the rest of your day. It's all about discipline. It's all about what you actually get to do during these days. And the other main bit that I feel is not really highlighted is how much you can learn from the people around you. Let's say you're working with someone who has had 5 to 7 years of experience in a totally different industry that you've never actually thought that this person is coming from. So getting to tap into the backgrounds of those individual people. And then the final thing I'd say is how the impact can be quite real at some point. So sometimes you think about your essays that you've put together and submitted 5 minutes before the deadline, and that's it. You don't really get to think about that too much. But when it comes to real life work, it gets a bit different because sometimes that essay or that report that you're sending out, it could actually lead to something bigger that you can see in headlines.
Three really key insights here from Mohammed about the workplace being a little bit more relaxed than might be expected, but still professional, to the profound impact your work can have, as well as the role of learning, especially through the experiences of others. Something Tanya picks up on next.
I think one of the things that no one tells you about the world of work is that your education actually starts after you finish university. I think a lot of people think that once they've finished university, they've got the degree, that's it, they're done with education. But in reality, basic skills like, networking or other skills like how to be around clients, how to, increase the skills that you have in the industry you are in, how to increase that. And other skills like, how to use Microsoft Excel skills. Because I know that when I first started work, I didn't realize how extensively it's used, and my proficiency in Excel is very limited. So I guess it just leads you to the point where you need to figure out things for yourself in the world of work. I guess at university, you have your teachers, you have assignments, you've got exam dates that are already set, but in the outside world, you don't have that. Everything is based on you. So you need to network, you need to reach out to people. And learn from other people, I guess.
So Tanya's voice adds to Mohammed's on the role of learning, whether on specific skills like Excel, like Tanya mentions, or the more broader experience of learning from the people around you. That said, I can imagine it might feel a little galling to hear that the real learning starts after university, especially if you're knee-deep in assignments right now. But maybe it's like driving, where arguably the real learning happens after you secure your license and you're having to make completely independent decisions on the road. And there's a big plus here too, right? You're definitely not expected to be the finished article straight out of university. And this is something that Lincoln picks up on next, when I asked him what no one told him about the world of work. In his case, his work is as an entrepreneur.
How much you would have to adapt. We've basically had to do 5 or 6 jobs in the span of the past 8 months. We had to learn everything about the food industry, a lot about marketing and how to build brands. That's what most people don't tell you. They try to give you a lot of tools, technical tools, tips, graphs, things like this. But they perhaps don't really impress upon you so much that it's more about this attitude of being happy to learn, eager to learn. That's how I believe you're going to succeed.
So there you have it, 3 voices from the class of 2019 speaking as one about the importance of learning when asked what no one tells them about the world of work. Is that a surprise? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'm really interested in hearing your thoughts on this. Me personally, I feel there's real value to be had in preserving a learner's mindset from your very first job to your last. It's my experience, it's curiosity that best correlates to success in the workplace. I want to extend my gratitude to Tanya, to Lincoln, and to Mohammed for sharing their experiences, and it's great to see the three of you thriving. If you have a careers question that you'd like featured in the next Q&A episode of CareersLab, please email in at careers.marketing@ucl.ac.uk. That's it from me for this week. I'll see you next time.